Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookham here. Today we continue with the new series of interviews with the Golden Eagle Tom Platz. In the sixth section of our interview with Tom Platz further delves into his experience with steroids and how he wanted to achieve that drug look, as he puts it, which he simply couldn't achieve as a natural lifter. Tom begins to also describe how through experimentation he was able to achieve that shredded vascular look. Enjoy.
Well, let's 5 more reps.
Okay, 5 more reps.
Yeah, let's go.
We've talked about how strong you were prior to steroid use and how heavy you got. What about, I also remember hearing some seminars where you've talked about, not being at your peak enough to start winning competitions, and that kind of steering you towards the idea of starting to take steroids. Before getting into that, could you get shredded enough, without the aid of steroids, or did you find that your body fat percentage just wasn't quite right? Was that it?
Pretty close. I got shredded within my own human terms.
Mm-hmm.
But to achieve the drug look, the saran wrap finish, the vascularity, it's a drug look.
Yeah.
If you want the drug look, nothing's going to do it but the small amount of the drugs, if you will. I wasn't in, Winstrol and Danabol was the drug of choice in the 70s, which held a lot of water. And I did, this is stupid. I'm getting all bloated up from this stuff, Even back then, 5 milligrams a day, There was the dosages were never there, but I did realize as a 19-year-old competing in the Mr. Michigan contest and in the junior Mr. Michigan that, and I would enter powerlifting contests and never take anything ever. My big strong years, forget about it. But for bodybuilding, there's a finish and a drug look like saran wrap around the muscle that I could only acquire with a small amount of anabolic material, not androgenic.
Okay. And so would you say that because you found you were coming in second or third or whatever, you weren't winning, that's when you took that step forward to achieve that look?
I glance over to the guy next to me in the lineup. I'm like, the fuck? How that? Jeez. It's real. I'm like, what am I, just too young or something? Or what is it, And then I learned the business and how people do it. And they go, okay. I talked to when I was in college, on my way to college, I talked to everybody, all these doctors everywhere, made appointments and talked to them. And they're like, you crazy kid, you're nuts, And then eventually, I found some doctors that it made sense to, and okay, we could administer this, But I did do a lot of research first before I go, okay, I'll take something. It was all, okay, I write you a prescription. You go to the pharmacy and you get it. That was, I think I spent $300 getting ready for each Mr. Olympia, $300 total, and back then it was probably $75 getting ready for my state shows. So guys spend thousands of dollars nowadays, and $100 fee. My entry fee was like $10 or $5 for the contest. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how guys and girls do it. They spend so much money competing, and wow, it's a different world,
Absolutely.
Cool, man. I gotta answer that question.
You did. It's perfect. So what was the last competition you won prior to then taking your first cycle?
Mr. Michigan. I go, okay, I've won this state level. Now I'm going to go to the Mr. America contest, and I'm going to consider taking the steroids.
Okay. And that's when you started?
Yes.
And that was the year 1975, Mr. Michigan?
Yes.
And Mr. America?
1976 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Competed in the 76. Cal Scallock won the America that year. They're one of the few champions from Hungary, okay, so to speak. He's American. You got to realize, as a teenager, I had my whole gym class come to the contest. And I'd have 150 guys going, rah, I go, and so I had a leader, a friend of mine, was like, when Tom comes out, I want you to scream and yell and stomp and hit, jump in the air. And, so when I went to the Mr. America contest with no gym class friends, I'm like, hope they like me. Hope I'm good. And then I get positive response. Oh, I guess I can do this without my gym class, being the audience, if you will. But, I remember in 76 saying to my dad, maybe I should quit. It lasted about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm planning my strategy for next year, which was the 77 in California and Santa Monica. And I was way too light, dieted too off the deep end. So 78, I go, okay, now I know exactly what to do. And it came in, about 205, 210, perfect. Like, okay, that's how I won. And you don't get your best all the time. There's maybe 1 or 2 times during your career you're really on point.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, a guy like Lee Haney, with symmetry, can win a lot more when they're out of shape a little bit. Because they have small waists, Herculean look. But a guy like me resemble Gasperi was the same way. Unless Gasperi entered the contest ripped and striations. I had cross striations in my butt in 1975. I just didn't show that. It's just show Joe Leader. Joe, what do you think? Oh my God, this is And it's funny over the years, social mores and change.
Yeah.
Sport. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good. Okay. Now continuing on this early steroid topic, you've mentioned that you started about between 19 and 20. Mm-hmm. Going back to strength, you've mentioned that you could perform a 600-pound squat. What about your bench and deadlift and other power lifts? Were they also pretty strong before?
Before any kind of drugs. I did happen to, in the Junior State Michigan Powerlifting Championships in Pontiac, Michigan YMCA. I mean, funny how I can remember these kind of things 50 years ago, and I can't remember what happened yesterday. Yeah, there is an aging thing, but I squatted. I think it was almost 5, and I bench pressed like 315, somewhere around there. In order to win the contest, I had to pull 650 pounds. Deadlift. Yeah, I'm like, that's way beyond what I've done before. Hurt my back. I took 2 weeks off prior to the event. I'm like, put it on. I just tucked myself into it and cranked up 6.5. I'm like, and won the event. I'm like, wow. My parents were in the audience going, oh my God.
Sweet.
It was just unbelievable. I'm like, oh, amazing what you could do when you really talk to yourself, convince yourself you can do something. I'm gonna use this more often, So it taught me about bodybuilding and I was always, I knew I could do certain lifts, but squats sometimes are like, okay, I'll be smiling inside. I always tell people that squats is a paradox of unspeakable aggression, juxtapositioned with extreme tranquility and serenity. At the same, that's what I feel when I'm squatting. I'm like in that room going, wow, man, let's keep doing it. Don't get out yet. Just keep going. And at the end of the set, I'm like, it's not painful. I'm not going pain. It's like, wow, God, thank you. This is great. So that squatting it's not, I don't think about pain. I never had a painful squat workout. It wasn't excruciating. It was just, I had to go through the pain threshold. Big deal. You get to that room, that anything's possible. When you're in the midst of doing high rep squats, like you go, it's like scuba diving. It's like being 100 feet underwater going, wow, I can't stay down here very long, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful for now. We'll go back up and come back, And that's the way I looked at squatting. But I'm thinking about a couple of things. You got me thinking, and I'll stop. Initially, it was getting the nod. As a 9-10-year-old, I wanted recognition as going, I can do this, right? So I remember I was 9-10 years old, standing on my mother's makeup table. They have makeup tables, and she had a mirror. and I'm standing on the makeup table chair posing, looking at the magazine like Dave Draper. I go, Mom, and she's walking by with a laundry basket. I go, do I look like this? She goes, yeah, honey, you do. You know, so somebody said I could do something. Oh, I could do this. My mother was passing by with a laundry basket and saw me stupidly as a young little kid posing in the mirror, and she didn't understand it. She goes, yeah, you could do that. You look like those guys. She gave me the nod. Okay. And then during the Mr. America competitions, those in the 70s, John Grimmick was like, yeah, you know, okay. I mean, you got to do this, Tom. You got to do that, Tom. Your arms. Okay. And I always paid respect to John Grimmick. Okay. Then I wrote a letter to Joe Weider, and a guy by the name of one of his writers on staff, Gene Mosé, wrote back to me. And he wrote back to me. And I was waiting for the letter to come back as a 10-year-old. And Joe says, Tom wants me to tell you, he thinks you can really be a champion, a pro bodybuilder. You got to work on your legs more. My legs are very thin at that time, and I was known for upper body. He goes, but with continued practice and focus, you can be one of the guys. You can be one of them. Okay. Joe was very impressed by your physique so far as a young man, or young boy, I should say. So that a lot of it was just getting the nod. Somebody saying, "Yeah, okay, you can do it." And my mother, she didn't know anything about this, and she's in the middle of doing laundry, going, "Yes, yes, you look like those guys." I like, oh yeah. Just amazing as a coach. What we say or don't say to our students or clients, you can change their whole life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? What a responsibility. Words. We always said that words can break my, sticks and stones will break my bones. Words never hurt me. Words are very powerful. Absolutely. Your ability to have a vocabulary, and that's another thing I teach some of these young people, how to speak, what words to use, not just to impress people, just to communicate better with what you're seeing, what you feel. And so, so there's an intellectual training I go through with people in terms of progression. But I think having somebody say you could do it, like having Arnold say at the 70 or in Florida, Arnold was guest posing, and we were in the airport, and Arnold gave me the nod. You can do this. Let's go to California. I'm going to graduate from college. I'm not going to stay for for the awards. I'm gone. I got enough money for the plane ticket. And I remember circling over California in a plane. Landing in Santa Monica, landed in LAX. But I'm thinking to myself as a teenager, when Gold's Gym is down there somewhere. Gold's Gym is right there somewhere. I was so excited. It's like living a dream, And I remember getting down to Gold's Gym and being so impressed with Robbie Robinson in the mirror. And this one mirror, that you stand in front of this mirror in a skylight, you can be fat and look great, And Robbie's like tank top all ripped up. And we went to Venice Beach for the first time. Like, oh, we'll take you to the beach. You got to show you that too. And I'm at the beach going, and two guys walked out in space suits, real massive space suits. I don't know, they're practicing for a film. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, it's a great place. I'm living here forever. God, thank you. So I lived with 25 people in one room. 25 people in one room, 15 girls, 10 guys. It was a massive party every time. They all respected my business. Tom has the couch. They're passing the bong around. What's a bong? They're like, I didn't know. I'm like, I was trained, man. That's, I know more about Winslow than I knew about a bong, And so, but I had the couch. They're very respectful, and the girls would go, okay, don't sleep. He's training tomorrow with Arnold. Okay, So it was like, it was almost like planned. It's like, I always looked for the cues, but you can miss it if you're on stage going, you miss it. Like when at the Mr. America contest in 1978, guy by the name of Ron Tufel, who's always beating. He got pissed off at the judges, called him names, right? Hey, faggot, whatever. And then I'm standing there going, so all the judges in the second judging panel, which from the AAU guys and the IFBB guys were together that one particular year, they whispered in my ear. They came backstage and said, Tom, get in the pose down, Tom. Make sure you're in the pose down. Put your oil back on. Get in the pose down. I'm like, Sure. Pose down. We're going to pick who goes to the Mr. Universe. Okay, so Tony Pearson won the America that night. You know, very wonderful physique. I always admired his body. And Menser, the heavyweight class, and Carlos Rodriguez for the lightweight class, and I won the pose. I beat Tony Pearson that night to go to the universe to represent America at Acapulco, New Mexico. I'm like, wow, it was just the right time. I was ready. You know, it was luck, but if luck is preparation, which then it meets opportunity, that's luck, okay? But you prepared for all those years, you know, and like, there it is. That's my time, okay? And then same thing with the 81 Olympia. Franco didn't look that good. My months out, 4 months in, my girlfriend left me and got together with my training partner. I was very depressed, but used the pain into my training, and every workout for those 4 months was like, oh my God, opened the door to the gym. I was scaring myself in the mirror every day going, I'm getting so good. It's unbelievable. And I went to the contest going, I had a training partner, a homeless guy who became he needed a place to live. And so I let him sleep in my living room, and he spotted me at 5 a.m. every morning, you know. But he went with me, and I remember showing him putting on the big trunks, but I'm like, you can see striations up my butt and stuff. He's like, oh, you know, what if we could show that? You know, and then Joe Weider said the same thing during that time. But a lot of it was just getting the nod and being ready to accept your destiny and the time. It's quick, it's short. I could have said, oh, yeah, hell with it, you know. Or I could have yelled at the judges so many times. But I learned. I watched Mike Menser when I was a young man. Arnold won. Mike carried that bitterness with him for the rest of his life. I'm like, oh. And Mike was very good to me, very informative. He you know, here's the keys to my condo in Palm Springs. Go lay out in the sun. I mean, all the guys were. I mean, Zane was very Arnold, Corny, Robbie. These are the guys. Ferrigno. You know, and Dave Draper would come in from Santa Cruz sometimes. I'm like, wow, you know. And I went up there to guest posing for him over the year. But it's just, I think when you're on a certain path, you can't just wait for the right time, the timing. You know, as far as luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and it comes, it does come. And so, you know, I didn't, you know, in the early years, I wanted to win Mr. Olympia and be, how do they say, young kids, I want to achieve greatness. It sounds kind of stupid to me now, but I get it because I was there for so many years. But then after a while, like I told you before, it's about, the awards are nice. The awards are very meaningful, and thank you so much for considering me to be that good or to, you know, affect your life in that way. But did my work have meaning to your life? Was my existence in the sport useful to somebody else's life? The more I can say yes to that, the more I'm like, the more happier I am. I'm like, okay. And that's what drives me. That drives the hell out of me. I'm like, you know, this person's going to get it no matter what. And there's, you know, some of the young girls that are going into business that I mentor. I was a corporate recruiter for a while. I'm like, I love to see a 27-year-old go, man, I got it together. I look great. I can do anything I want to do. Like, wow, what a cool thing. It's like racing cars. You know, here's the gasoline you use, go. You know, that's my thrill. My thrill is seeing others succeed and prosper and doubt and overcome doubt and just do it. You know, that to me is something that's drives me now. That's what drives me right now. You know? Awesome. That's why I love doing seminars, going to country to country to country to country. You know, it's just. I went to Germany with a huge crowd in Germany. I'm like, how do you all know about me? I mean, I retired, you know, before you were born. And I'm like, wow. So, but the fathers tell the sons, and then become this sort of folklore guy and the internet, and they would bring me tickets from seminars 40 years ago. Here's my ticket that I got 40 years ago to see you when you were a young man. First one they used to. Wow. And their kids are like, wow, remember I told you about it, Jimmy? This is stuff. I'm like, wow, I served a role and a reason in other people's lives. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'm nobody. I'm just something. We're all nobody. We're all somebody. Okay, but just to have be useful in somebody else's life. I guess that's where the priest thing came in. Like, what's my dedication, my focus, my meaning? I'm not just here for me. I'm here for what people can affect as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what all successful billionaires do. That's what not that I'm a billionaire, but that's what they do. Okay, and I'm like, so I see Trump keeps his door open all the time. Hey, how you doing, man? He's always given to people like, you got this. Can you take care of that? That's not right, but this, great job. He's very willing to give advice and energy to other people. Vince McMahon would take me in the corner and go, Tom, always embrace the heat. Like, deal with your issues, deal with the problems right now. We're doing pay-per-view television. I'm like, okay, Vince, he's this big guy, tall guy, much taller than me. And Arnold would always look at me funny if I don't feel anything, just do it. He would look at me, he was almost like, so these are the guys that I looked at as, these are the priests of my life when I was younger. And, I looked at them that way. So it was hard to compete with them on stage. I'm competing with my guys that gave, but I realized I had to do business. I had to do business, come into my own and go, okay, here's how it goes according to me, humbly. Okay. And anyhow, that's my life and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Other questions you have, I know you do.
Oh yeah, plenty. Okay, I'm just wondering, you said 5 more reps.
Yeah.
You're gonna do another 5 more reps? Or? Right.
This is why I train. If you could do 5, you got 5 more. If you could do 5, let's try 5 more. Then you get somebody to help you do 5 more. That's once. Partials, hold the bar, baby reps.
Yeah.
So I do hope you have enjoyed the 6th video interview with Tom Platz and how he experimented with steroids to achieve that vascular and shredded look. Tom also explained his impressive strength level at such a young age and his years as a competitive bodybuilder. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and leave your comments and click the bell button to be notified of the next video in this series. In the last video of our first interview, Tom delves into his extreme training and bodybuilding methods, and this video interview is coming up soon, so stay tuned. Anyway, that's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. The Golden Eagle collection is now available at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Select from upper body muscle mass and power or Tom's classic leg training manual, also known as the Bible of leg training. All available at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Need a bodybuilding poster for your gym or office? Then check out Iron Man Magazine archive.smugmug.com for the highest quality posters on the planet. Scroll through the galleries of all the legends, including greats such as Arnold, Frank Zane, Sergio Oliva, Serge Nubret, Tom Platz, and Larry Scott, and much, much more, and select your poster now. Online training is now available, including my new program, Novice to Classic, a program geared towards beginners and novices looking at developing a classic physique, as well as Classic Cut, geared at those who wish to lose weight and gain muscle fast. Details available at www.goldenerabookworm.com. As a natural bodybuilder, it is imperative to know your own testosterone levels, as they are a reflection of the anabolic environment created by your diet and training. I would highly recommend using the male hormone test kit from Let's Get Checked, and make sure you use my code GOLDEN30 for a 30% discount. Again, the advantage of checking yourself regularly is that you will know how well your body is anabolically primed to put on the much desired muscle you are working for. Get your gym wear and Golden Era apparel at the new Golden Era Tees shop, featuring designs from the Silver Era and Golden Era legends, available as tanks, shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies in all sizes and colors. To support your favorite YouTube channel, please visit teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm for merchandise including t-shirts, hoodies, face masks, phone cases, and much, much more. Once again at teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the Golden Era of bodybuilding.
I don't think that Bill Phillips looked at it as, I want to compete against them. I want to destroy them.
If they pass legislation basically making any type of food supplement a prescription item, that would be the end, the death of the entire food supplement industry.
Take your vitamin pill now.
In the 1960s, the sports supplement industry was barely emerging.
I think the reason why Joe Weider was so successful was he had Arnold on his side.
He wasn't selling supplements. He was in the dream business.
Joe Weider was a marketing genius.
People would say the promotions or the endorsements back then were cheesy. To me, it wasn't. I loved it.
Fitness was taking off. You know, fitness became cool. You had a lot of readers that wanted to be like the stars that they idolized.
Bill's strength is his marketing savvy. He's a marketing genius.
Got it. It's only vitamin.
The right of American citizens to have free access to dietary supplements of their choice.
Consult your physician. You might as well consult the next guy you meet on the street. They don't know a damn thing about vitamins and nutrition.
The dietary supplement industry became the #2 most regulated industry. Nuclear, dietary supplements, pharmaceutical. We're more regulated than drugs.
They come in and you need to allow the FDA. They have jurisdiction.
The enforcement is kind of the questionable side of it, and how do they really get a handle on this monster?
A lot of people tell me that the dietary supplement industry is completely unregulated. It's the wild, wild west out there. It's a free-for-all. That could not be further from the truth.
A dietary supplement is not allowed to have a side effect. I always say that pharmaceutical has to have a minimum of 100 side effects in order for it to be a drug.
And now, it's a $40 billion industry and growing.
That's the really interesting thing, is the cast of characters from the 80s, when it was kind of iffy, to now when it's a lot more legitimate.
They made it sound cutting edge, revolutionary, and different, and I want that. That's cool.
We are in this industry to improve our health. It's not just a vanity project here. We're working on our lifeline. We eat a certain way to improve our health. We train a certain way to improve our health. Supplements are just that. They supplement your work, your graft, your nutrition.
They demonize dietary supplements, but they say all you need is real food. Well, what's a real food?
They pump you up and get you hard, stronger, faster, bigger.
Doc, I want to take this weight gain. I want to take this pre-workout. Doctor's, no way. That stuff, we don't know what's in that. It could be, no way. I'm not going to give you, it's going to kill the industry, bottom line.
So I must have drank so much protein powder from age 15 to 18 that my head was going to explode.
I believed in metrics so much that I would probably punch somebody in the face if they tried to take it away from me.